Yeah. Please give me the permission to so I can share my screen.
I don't know why I keep forgetting this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
First memories.
Yes. First memory. The psychologist Richard Warrington reviews research into our earliest memories. Mm, right? It is psychologist. Yeah.
Yeah, psychologist.
Okay. People have sometimes told me they dread the questions. What is your earliest memory? Uh, dread. Dread
Dread.
it
Dread the
in my.
question. What is your earliest memory? Okay, let me ask you this question. What is your earliest memory?
Uh, what is my earliest memory?
Yeah.
It is. Uh, I have a lot of memory.
Yeah, you have a lot of memories. That is correct. But I want to know what is your earliest memory? Can you
Mm,
remember what you were doing when you were 1 year old or 2 years
I,
old?
no, I don't
Then,
remember.
so what is your earliest memory? How far back can you go?
It's been last time. ये तो मैंने यार क्या उनको
Uh, you
ये
said that
वर्ष
you have multiple memories, right?
yes
Of course, everybody has. Everybody does. Everybody
yeah
has millions of memories. But can you remember what you were doing at the age of 3,
no
4,
yes
4? Okay.
little bit
A little bit. Okay. So that means you have some memories when you were the age of 4.
yes
So
so
can
it's
you
called
describe those memories? Any one memory.
okay when I was a child uh, I go I went to the school and with me.
You attended the school for the first time.
Yes.
Hmm. So was it a positive memory or a negative one? Was it a pleasant experience or a bad experience?
I, it it was a pleasant experience.
Okay, in your case, it was a pleasant experience. Good.
Yeah.
Usually, it is not because when children first attend the school, they often cry.
But
Okay, yeah. So in your case, it was positive. I'm not objecting it, but something strange.
okay.
Ah,
So
so this does not work. This does not work. People have sometimes told me they dread the question, "What is your earliest memory?" Uh,
yeah.
okay, forget about your earliest memory. You said that all that you can remember is um, when you first went to the school. That means you cannot remember anything that happened before the age of 4, right?
Yeah.
Now, what will happen if I ask you something about your past before that?
Yeah.
Let's say that I want to know what you were doing at the age of 3.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know. So what do? You dread the question. Why do you dread the question? If you don't know, what kind of gesture do you do?
Yes. Okay. So it's called
Nay, nay, nay. It's called nay. Don't come to any conclusion. I haven't told you the meaning. What
okay.
gesture do you do if you do not know something?
I do. Hmm. Remember. I try to remember it. If
No, let us say that you cannot remember it. No matter how hard you try, you're not able to remember it. In that case, what kind of physical gesture would you do? Or would any person do? Not just you.
करो करी विचारो
Karin jawa de, vichari le.
हाँ
There's also one more possibility. People can shrug their shoulders.
हाँ बस એવું બી કરે
Have you heard this phrase before? Shrug the shoulders.
yes I don't know करे
But you don't know the
whatever
meaning of it?
whatever whatever જે હોય એ. ક્યારે બી એવું કરે.
Ah, whatever. Yes, yes. So you know what kind of gesture I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
So why would somebody shrug their shoulders?
I don't know.
Uh, yeah, exactly. Because you don't know. This is the answer. If you don't know an answer to a question, you just shrug your shoulders. I don't know. That's it, right?
Okay. Is
And
that answer?
when
I
you
don't know.
don't know something, what what do you usually do? You try to evade the question, right?
Yes.
You try
Evade.
to run away from the question. Why? Because you don't know. If you know the answer to a question, you will face it bravely. You will answer it. You'll be confident. But if you don't know an answer to a question, what would you do? You just try to avoid the question.
Yes.
So now try to predict the meaning of the word dread. People have
Avoid.
sometimes told me they dread the question.
Avoid.
Hmm?
They avoid the question.
Dread is not exactly avoid, but બીજું શું થાય? What else? You avoid the question. That is the outcome. But why do you avoid the question?
Because it was dead. મરી ગયેલો છે એટલે.
Dead? ક્યાં dead આવ્યો?
ના ના એટલે હું ખાલી કહું છું તે એ ડ્રેડ છે.
હા,
જસ્ટ પ્રિડિક્ટ
okay.
પ્રિડિક્ટ ઇટ્સ ડેડ.
હા.
ભૂલાઈ ગયેલું છે એટલે.
Yes, but uh, suppose you don't know an answer to a question and your professor asks you in the middle of the class. So
Yes.
how would you feel?
I
You,
feel badly.
you,
Nervous.
you will feel what?
Nervous.
You will feel nervous. You will feel badly. नहीं, you will feel bad.
Yeah, okay. I'll feel
Badly
bad.
तो adverb क्यों? So you will feel nervous. You will feel bad, right?
Yeah.
You will feel afraid.
Yes. I
You'll sense a sort of fear. If you don't know an answer to a question, you'll always try to hide behind someone. You
yeah.
hope that your professor does not pinpoint you and ask you that question because you don't know the answer, right? So these are the symptoms that you see in a person who does not know an answer to a question.
Yes.
Okay, so હવે dread.
Mm. એને લગતું તો હોય but I
હા, એને આની description મેં તને દીધું એના જેવું જ કંઈક હશે, something similar to that.
હા but એનો actual word I
Okay,
can't.
just say any random word, or maybe not even a word. Use a phrase, a collection
Okay.
of words, not just one word.
Mm,
What did you understand out of all this description?
bad feel
You don't know an answer to a question, so how do you feel?
bad feel
Huh?
feel bad feel bad.
Feel bad. Okay. Yes, that is one thing. And biju, you'll be afraid, right?
Yeah, afraid.
So that's what dread means. So if you dread the question, it means that you're afraid of the question. હવે જો suppose you say that it means bad, so replace the word dread with bad. People have sometimes told me they bad the question. Does it make any sense?
No,
But now replace it with afraid. People have sometimes told me that they feel afraid of the question. So is it possible? You might
yeah,
feel afraid of a question. And why
yes,
do you feel afraid of a question? There could be multiple reasons. One reason is that you don't know an answer to a question. That's why you feel afraid of the question. The other reason could be that if you have some very bad memories in the past, which you do not wish to remember or which you do not wish to encounter again in your life, you'll dread the question. Because you want to avoid it. Although you know the answer, you still want to avoid that question. That's why you are dreading the question.
hey,
Does it
dread
make
the
sense?
question. Got it,
Hmm.
got it. Okay. So, what is your earliest memory, perhaps? They find
Perhaps.
per, perhaps,
Perhaps.
perhaps, per, per, તો મારે perhaps નો હોય છે ઈ આવે તો
પર PER હોય તો હું એને પર વંચાય કે પેર વંચાય?
પર પર જ હોય છે એને
પર
perhaps.
પર્સન, પર નાઇટ હોય ને
perhaps.
હોટલમાં
હા
તમે
હા
જાઓ તો
પર
પર
જ
શું કે
પર જ આવે પર
હા
પર
તો ઇટ્સ પરહેપ્સ.
perhaps perhaps
અને
perhaps
મીનિંગ ઓફ પરહેપ્સ
probably.
probable. It's probable.
હા yeah, what is your earliest memory? Perhaps they find the
Perhaps.
perhaps હું શું બોલું તો પેલા
સેજ આમ આડું થઈ ગયું perhaps એવું કંઈક ખંભરાણું.
perhaps right perhaps
હમ હમ
perhaps they find the whole notion too simplistic,
હમ
like being asked to name a favorite film or book when the choice is almost limitless.
જોયું. Did you note your intonation when the sentence
Yes,
was
yes,
over? You did not respect the full point.
yes,
It did not sound as if the sentence is over. You
yeah.
are in the mood
Okay,
to continue.
can
Okay,
I
read it
try?
one more.
I try one
Hmm.
more time. Perhaps they find the whole notion too simplistic, like being asked to name a favorite film or book when the choice is almost limitless.
Perfect. અને repeat this favorite film.
Favorite film or book?
નહીં તો જો છે ને આમ બહુ તોછડું લાગે આમ પ્રેમથી બોલ ફેવરિટ ફિલ્મ
Favorite film.
હા
Favorite
ફેવરિટ
film.
ફિલ્મ એમ કેવું વિચિત્ર લાગે.
Favorite film or
ફેવરિટ
book.
ફેવરિટ ફિલ્મ.
Okay, favorite film.
જો તું બોલીશ ને તો તું ફેવ જ આમ સંભળાશે. ફેવ
હા,
નહીં ફેવરિટ ફિલ્મ.
favorite.
હા ફેવરિટ ફેવરિટ
Fav-
ફેવરિટ.
favorite film.
હા ફેવરિટ ફિલ્મ. હવે
Nah,
શું કીધું છે perhaps they find the whole notion too simplistic. Notion, what do you mean by notion?
I don't know notion, but I know motion.
That is okay. uh, Perhaps they find the whole notion too simplistic. Okay, you are finding something too simplistic. What do you mean by that? Forget about notion.
Simply plastic. Simplistic यानी easy है guys.
Okay, so something is too simplistic. It is not complicated at all. In a too
Yeah,
simplistic way, it's very easy. It's a piece of cake. It's a
yeah,
cakewalk.
yes. Cakewalk.
And a piece of cake. ઈ સાંભળ્યું તું?
એ સાંભળ્યું છે પણ એ ખબર પડી ગઈ પીસ ઓફ કેક શું કામ એને કે એક તો સાવ હળવી હોય આસાનીથી કપાઈ જાય.
It's very light. It can be
હમ
easily cut.
yeah.
Avoid Gujarati as much as possible.
Okay.
People have sometimes told me that they dread the question, what is your earliest memory? So, what does the first sentence talk about? There's a question that
હા yes,
people do not wish to encounter.
yes,
So, if you have a question that you do not wish to encounter, as I said, there could be multiple reasons. So,
yeah,
we also need to know about the reasons why people are trying to avoid this question.
yes.
So
So
the subsequent sentence will would be talking something about the reasons, something about
yes,
the reason why people are trying to avoid that question.
yes.
Now, uh, perhaps, probably, they find
Probably
who is finding it.
those people are afraid about this question.
Yes, the people who are afraid about this question, they refers to the people who are afraid to answer the question.
Yes,
So perhaps, probably, the people who are afraid to answer the question find the whole notion too simplistic. So these people are finding something very easy, something simplistic, something which is not complicated.
Yes.
So now try to connect it with the previous sentence and predict the meaning of the word notion. What could it mean? We are talking about a question in the previous sentence, and we are talking about the same thing here because this is in continuation. These two are not totally separate concepts, right?
Dread and notion are synonyms somehow.
Okay. What is the chief idea of the first sentence? Is it dread?
Yeah. Mm.
Uh, Subject. Okay. Find the subject of the first sentence.
People,
Okay. People. Because people are doing something. People have sometimes told me that they
they are
dread the question. So,
mhm,
who is doing something? People.
people.
Okay. And what are they doing?
They feel afraid whenever this question is encountered.
Whenever they encounter this question. So, what is the object?
Uh, Objective question.
Yes, exactly. So if your object is question, then
Yeah,
the object of the second sentence too should be
question.
question, right? Because we are referring to the same thing essentially. It's
Yes,
essentially the same. Upper, we are talking about in the first sentence, we're talking about a question that people are afraid to answer, and in the second question, we are trying to rationalize that fear.
uh,
કે ઉપર શું કીધું they are afraid to answer a question, so immediately you need to have a reason. If you're afraid of something, you need to have a reason. You cannot be afraid of something for no reason at all, otherwise people will consider you mad. So
yeah.
in the first question introduces a question, a fear of the question, and the second sentence, or maybe even the sentences after the second one, will rationalize that fear. So ultimately, the object of both these sentences should be same.
Mm, yes,
So if the object of first sentence is question, what
it's
should be the
question.
object of second sentence?
No, it's definitely question.
Question. Okay. So question ની જ વાત થાય છે. Perhaps they find the whole notion too simplistic. Now notion.
All questions too simplistic.
Yes, you're very close to it. Notion basically means idea. Notion એટલે idea. But
Oh,
here you can roughly say that we are talking about the question.
yeah.
એનો
Okay.
generic meaning idea થાય, but in this context, yes, you are 100% right. It's question. Notion translates to question. Perhaps they find the people find the whole notion એટલે the whole
But then,
idea too simplistic. Which
okay,
idea?
all simplistic. All uh, uh, dread questions
No, no, no.
regarding dread.
Now
No?
come to the question. What is your
Okay.
earliest memory? This is the question, right?
Yes.
So when somebody asks you this question, you feel that, oh, okay, this is too simplistic. This whole idea is too simplistic.
Yes.
એવું થયું. પછી હવે આગળ like being.
Like being asked to name favorite film for book. Favorite. Right?
Yeah,
Book.
favorite.
When the choice is almost limitless. ત્યારે like being asked to name a favorite film or book.
Okay, like represents similarity between two concepts. The
Yes.
question in the previous sentence was, what is your earliest memory? That is one question. But in the
Yes.
next sentence, we are encountering this word like. So, like does not mean we are talking about the same question. Now, the
Yeah.
question is different, but it is very similar to the first question in certain respects.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So what question are we talking about here? You are being asked to name your favorite film or a book. But why do you find it too simplistic? I mean, why would you dread that question? Why would you be afraid of that question?
They also it is also our earliest memory.
Forget what earliest memory. This is not an earliest memory. You started watching films after, let's say, the age of. Forget films. You might have watched films in your childhood, but you started reading books after you were say 8 years old.
Yes.
Nobody would read books before that, or maybe there are
Yes.
exceptions, but generally people would start reading books after they are mature. So that is not an earliest memory. We are not talking about an earliest memory. It is somehow similar to that question, but how is it similar to the question of earliest memory? That's your task to find. You need to tell me how is it similar to the question asked in the first sentence. And the answer lies here. Answer is present in this very sentence.
When the choice is almost limitless.
So what does it mean?
Uh, limitless limitless થઈ ગયું એટલે you have only two choice, right? There is
નહીં,
no
limitless એટલે શું?
limit થઈ ગઈ એમ.
તો
બે
લેસ
તમારે
એટલે શું?
લેસ એટલે ઓછું,
લેસ એટલે ઓછું અને લિમિટ એટલે
લિમિટ લાગી ગઈ.
લિમિટ એટલે લિમિટ. તો હવે લિમિટ લેસ ને ભેગા કરતો શું થાય?
લિમિટલેસ એટલે
ઓછી લિમિટ વાળું. ઓકે. ઇઝ લેસ નેગેટિવ?
બહુ થોડું હોય લેસ નેગેટિવ,
એટલે લેસ
ઓછું નેગેટિવ.
ના ના નહીં, લેસ ને નેગેટિવ તો ન કહેવાય, વાત તો સાચી છે. But how do I explain this to you? Okay, assume that more is positive and less is negative.
It is not limitless, it is a huge.
Limitless એટલે it does not have any limit. જો
આ
limit,
નેગેટિવ કોન્ટેક્સ્ટમાં હતો, લિમિટ and then less, લિમિટ જ નથી.
કોઈ પણ વસ્તુની પાછળ less લાગે, if you see this suffix less after any word, then it means that it is so limitless એટલે without limit. Whenever you come across this suffix, remove LESS and put without in place of it. તો શું થાય?
Okay.
Without limit.
Yes.
Borderless. તો borderless એટલે શું થયું? Without border.
Yeah.
એમ. તો
Got it.
now what is happening here?
When the choice is almost without limit, there is lot of choice.
There is a lot of choice. There are a lot of choices.
Yeah, there are a lot of choices. So
Yes.
whenever this type of question are occur,
Whenever
people
this
get read. Yeah.
whenever these type of questions occur,
Whenever this type of questions occur, people are
people shrug their shoulders. People feel afraid of it.
and
People do not wish to answer
get
these
the
type of
question.
questions.
Yes.
So why? Because
Uh,
say for example, I ask you the name of your favorite film. Now you might have watched hundreds and thousands of movies, and you might have liked a lot many movies. Then it is very difficult for you to uh, pick one of those movies and name it as your favorite movie, right?
Yes.
There may be multiple movies which you like.
Yes.
So, saying that this is my most favorite movie, એટલે શું થયું કે એનો મતલબ શું થયો? મોસ્ટ ફેવરેટ આ એક જ છે કે જે મને બધામાંથી સૌથી વધારે ગમે છે.
ઘણા બધામાંથી આ મને એક જ
Out
ગમે
of
છે.
all those movies, this is the movie which I like the most.
Yes.
But it's very difficult to say that because you might be liking multiple movies and you might have even forgotten a few movies that you have watched. So
Yes.
you cannot definitively say which movie is the one which you like the most.
Like most. Yeah.
So that is why if the choices are limitless, if there are a myriad of choices, MYRIAD,
Isn't it? MIY.
MI नहीं, MYRIAD.
Countless or
Hmm.
extremely great number of people or things. Got it. Myriad of insects dance around the light above my head. मस्त sentence है. Got it. Okay. Just a second. I'll note it down. क्या આનું pronunciation શું છે? Myriad.
My જો MY એટલે my, RI એટલે રી, અને
Real.
AD એટલે એડ,
Add.
myriad.
My, myriad. આ લોકો તો myriad બોલે. Myriad.
Okay, could be.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
yeah,
if you
it
uh,
so
if you have so many choices, it's difficult to pick one of those, right?
choices.
That is
Yes.
why people dread this question. So what is
And
the similarity between the first question and the second question?
both questions are people.
No, no, no. Okay. This is a good exercise.
Yes.
People dread the question. That is active voice. Now convert it into passive, because the way you were trying to say was you were trying to use a passive sentence, right? So
Yes.
convert this active sentence into passive and then try.
Those questions are occurred. The people feel afraid the question. People are afraid this question. कैसी हुई तो नहीं थे मैं.
People are afraid this question. नहीं, people are afraid of this question. આનાથી બીવે છે.
Hmm.
Okay. People are afraid of this question. That is an active sentence. Now you are trying to use a passive sentence, right? So you
Hmm.
should know how to convert
The
an
question.
active sentence into a passive sentence, because sometimes it might happen that when you're speaking, you start in a way which is suitable to start a passive sentence,
Yes.
and then you realize that you don't have I mean, you don't know how to convert that active into passive, so you might have to correct yourself and then start again with an active sentence. That should not happen.
Yeah.
Immediately switch થઈ જવું જોઈએ.
Hmm. Okay. The questions. These questions afraid by the people.
Okay,
This type of
start
question.
by identifying subject and object.
Question is the object, right?
Okay.
Now,
Ah.
sorry, Casey, where is the question is object, and these questions are being afraid by
By whom? By whom? Okay, go ahead.
people.
By people. અને એક જ ભૂલ હતી,
It,
afraid.
right? Afraid.
Which word did we use in this active sentence? Dread the question. So which word should you use in the passive sentence?
Afraid.
Huh? Why are
Dread.
you using a
नहीं
synonym?
dread. नहीं dread જ કરવાનો હતો.
Huh.
એમને is ઓકે હું ફરી વાર બોલું is it right? મેં પહેલી વાર પેશીમાં ટ્રાન્સફર કર્યું એટલે.
That is right, but I want you to change the word afraid, because
Okay.
there's no
આ
word such as afraid.
એક વર્બ જ ચેન્જ કરવાનો છે ને વાંધો નહીં. ઓકે. These questions are being dread by the people.
Okay, fine. Just one small mistake. Why did you use afraid dead instead of, you could have used afraid, right? Why did you use afraid dead?
Afraid ક્યાં હોય ખાલી only dread use કર્યું ને. I just used dread.
ના, તે આ પેલા passive માં convert કર્યું ત્યારે what did you say? Afraid dead.
Afraid. Afraid
Oh,
because હવે એ તો થર્ડ ફોર્મ જ મૂકવાનું હોય ને
Okay,
પેસિવ.
third form જ મૂકવાનું હોય. તો why did you not use that third form with the word dread?
ઓકે, એમ બી ડ્રેડેડ થાય.
હા, dreaded થાય.
થતું હશે. So,
Yes.
okay. These questions are being dreaded by the people.
Ah, see, so easy.
Wow.
તો
Passive
એક્ટિવ
એટલો.
નું પેસિવ, આ ગ્રામર નો ટોપિક કવર થઈ ગયો.
હમ.
આવું આમાં આપણને છે ને કલાક કલાક એટલે જ નીકળી જાય છે આમાં, કારણ કે આ ઓફ ટોપિક જ આપણું અડધું ડિસ્કશન તો હાલતું હોય.
પણ ખરેખર મેં પેસિવ ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ ટ્રાન્સફર કર્યું.
પણ એવું જ કે જો તું બોલતો અને અચાનક બોલતા બોલતા તને એમ થાય કે આ મારાથી ભૂલથી ખોટું બોલાઈ ગયું, પણ બોલાઈ ગયું એ બોલાઈ ગયું, યુ હેવ ટુ કરેક્ટ યોરસેલ્ફ.
એટલે હું જટ કરીને પેસિવ માં ટ્રાય જ ન કરું, મને ખબર હોય એમાં પછી અટકી જાવ આગળથી, હવે શું મૂકવું એમ.
ના, બટ ઇફ યુ ડોન્ટ ટ્રાય, હાઉ વિલ યુ લર્ન ટુ કન્વર્ટ એક્ટિવ સેન્ટેન્સીસ ટુ પેસિવ? You will have to try.
યસ.
Okay, now
ઓકે.
we'll try to focus more on passive voice. આ
યસ.
ભક્તિ રગ હાથમાં આવી ગઈ.
અને એમાં લોચો થઈ જાય થોડોક.
આવું જ જોઈએ. Okay, so the similarity between these two questions is that people are dreading these questions,
યસ.
or the questions are being dreaded by the people.
યસ. યસ.
Okay, fine.
So, okay. But we should welcome and inquiries about our first memories. Enquired સાંભળ્યું છે, enquired past form માં.
તો enquired past form માં હોય તો enquiry શું થાય? Present form માં.
Present form થાય ને? ઓકે, તો એ રાઈટ છે. હું જે
હા,
સમજુ. ઓકે,
એટલે
memories.
how will I know that it is correct or not? If you don't explain it to me, how can I read your mind?
Okay, inquiries means to know something about. Inquire. Inquiry in this context, inquiry it means uh, to to know, to try to know, right? To try
Okay,
to know
there are
something.
two different words. First, look for the meaning of inquiry.
Hmm.
INQ, not ENQ.
Okay, INQ.
Yes,
Inquiry.
INQ.
ના, મેં તો જે વાંચ્યું તો ENQ જ હતું,
Okay,
inquiry.
તો તે INQ વાંચ્યું જ નથી?
ના, મેં INQ નહીં વાંચ્યું, ક્યારે જોયું નથી, એટલે મતલબ આવતું હોય તો મને ખબર નહીં.
Inquire, inquire. So QUI.
QUI.
Yes, inquire, RE.
ઓકે, આ inquire થાય.
So what you were saying is this: ask for information from someone.
Yes.
Now, inquire about something. Now look
Replace
for
it.
inquire.
After information from someone. તો કેમ આ inquire નું ઈ છે? આવું તો કઈ છે નહીં.
EEN, verb inquire.
ના,
This
verb
is
માં
verb
inquire.
inquiry. So what do you think is the difference between these two?
These are almost same. નહીં, આ verb છે તો આ શું હતું?
એ verb જ હતો ને.
Verb. Okay, third person present inquiries.
Forget about third person present and third person past and whatnot. Both of these mean the same. Enquire and inquire. It can be used interchangeably, but there's a slight difference between those two words. Inquire is usually used in formal context. So if a police officer is inquiring about someone, I mean, if we wants to know where the criminal is or where the culprit is, you use the word inquire because it's a formal investigation. But if you're asking something to your friend, you don't say inquire. You don't inquire of your friend. You use the word ENQ because that is used more informally. So essentially, there's no difference. Inquire is used when you are talking in formal context, and inquire is used in informal context. That's it.
ઓકે એટલે મતલબમાં ઈ એન આવે તો ઈ ઇન્ફોર્મલ હોય, રાઈટ?
હા,
ગોટ ઇટ. બાકી સેમ મિનિંગ જ છે.
મીનિંગ
એટલે
સેમ જ થાય. આ તો ખાલી અણી કાઢવાની વાત છે માણસની.
ઓકે, my dad go to નહીં, my dad inquires what happened.
Your dad inquires, and if you're talking about some, yes, if you're talking about that, બોલો કોણ હતો? I don't remember his name. ACP Pradyuman. If
He
he is
inquire
asking
about.
about somebody, then he is inquiring.
Yes, got it. Okay, now got it. Inquiries about our first memory. It is a compliment if others are interested in our lives and experience.
Okay. But we should welcome inquiries about our first memories. So
Yeah,
inquiries is to find out about what? About our first memories.
first memories.
We should welcome an inquiry એટલે what
We should એટલે આપણે એને uh, we should welcome inquiries about our first person. એટલે આપણે એને આવકાર આપીએ. મતલબમાં it's okay.
yeah, I mean,
It's
it's not a
okay.
problem if somebody asks us about our
It's a,
we should welcome those inquiries એટલે શું કહેવાય એને?
it's okay એમ. કાંઈ વાંધો નહીં. પૂછો
ના
તમે
ના
કાંઈ
ના,
વાંધો.
ઇટ્સ ઓકે નહીં. ઇન જો ઇટ્સ ઓકે છે ને, ઇટ્સ ન્યુટ્રલ.
હમ.
ધીસ ઇઝ સમથિંગ પોઝિટિવ. જો
હા,
બે ત્રણ
positive.
વસ્તુ હોઈ શકે. ઇફ
હા, આમ તો જો કે ન્યુટ્રલ થાય.
પોઝિટિવ હોઈ શકે, ઇટ કુડ બી ન્યુટ્રલ, ઓર ઇટ કુડ બી ટોટલી નેગેટિવ. હવે ઇફ યુ આર વેલકમિંગ એક્સપિરિયન્સ એટલે સમથિંગ વિચ ઇઝ પોઝિટિવ, વિચ યુ વોન્ટ ઇટ ટુ હેપન. ઓકે, so we should welcome inquiries. So we should happily accept those inquiries. We should want people to ask us about our first memories. એના જેવું થયું.
Yes.
It is not just okay. Okay is very neutral in tone. This is something positive, welcoming something.
Okay.
And it is a compliment. What does this mean, compliment?
Compliment is negative.
Compliment, how is it negative?
Compliment નહીં, compliment એટલે negative તો ન થાય. It's similar to welcome. તમે કોઈને compliment આપો.
Compliment. No.
નહીં, તમે compliment કોઈને આપો.
No, if somebody compliments you, what does that mean? Let us say you scored 90% in your board exams and I compliment you. What am I doing?
Wish નહીં, compliment, best of luck
Okay, yes.
is a thing that contribute extra features to something else in such a way to improve or emphasize.
Now,
Emphasize.
wait. Before you read the meaning of this word, compare the spelling that you've written with the spelling that is mentioned in the paragraph.
Complement.
Compliment. Okay, both are
આવતું છે.
compliments. આને compliment જ વંચે ને ઓલાને compliment વંચે.
Okay.
But there's a difference. And this difference, although the difference is very subtle, the meaning changes.
An act to circumstance that implies praise or respect. Congratulations or praise expressed to someone.
So if you have secured 90% in your board exam and if somebody compliments you, so
Yeah.
basically they are appreciating your efforts, they are congratulating you. That is compliment with an I. But if you have E, તો શું થાય?
એના શું હતું?
You don't have to check the meaning. Complementary
Em-
angles.
Empathize.
ઈ ભૂલી જા, ઈ મારે વાંચવું જ નથી. There are two types of angles, complementary angles and supplementary angle. Do you remember those two type of angles?
Complementary angle and supplementary.
Supplementary angles. એવું
મને
આવતું
હા એની વેલ્યુ કે ને તો મને યાદ આવી જશે કારણ કે
90
અમારે
90 and 180.
હા આવતું. ઓકે.
So complementary angles are any two angles that sum up to 90 degrees.
ઓકે અમારે એને કાટકોણ કહેવાતું.
નહીં, કાટકોણ ઈ તો રાઈટ એંગલ થયું 90 degrees. પણ કોમ્પ્લિમેન્ટરી એંગલ્સ, અચ્છા હા, પાછું તમારે આ બધું એને કંઈક બીજું કહેવાતું હશે.
ના ના એવું જ કહેવાતું એટલે એટલે જ મેં તને કીધું વેલ્યુ કે તો મને ખબર પડે
ના
પછી.
ના, if two angles add up to 90 degrees, it's called they are called a pair of complementary angles.
હવે મને એનો ગુજરાતી મીનિંગ તો નથી યાદ બરાબર છે. ઓકે ઇટ્સ અ કોમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ.
એવું આવે ને, બે એંગલ્સ ભેગા થાય, એક 30 degrees હોય ને બીજું 60 હોય. if
બીજું ફાઇટ કરવાનું હોય પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય એ.
yes,
અને
so if I say that two angles are complementary and the measure of one angle is 30 degrees, so what's the measure of the second angle?
it's obviously 60 degree.
Yes, 90 minus 30 is 60.
Yes.
So the other is 60 degrees. But
Yes.
what are they doing? One angle is complementing the other angle. Why? The total has to be 90 degrees. Anyhow, the total has to be 90. So one angle is complementing the other angle. Now read the definition.
A thing that contribute extra feature to something else in such a way as to improve
Or
its
emphasize
quality.
its quality.
Yes.
And અહીં જો બીજું definition will make more sense to you. A number or quantity of something, especially that required to make a group complete.
Okay.
So we wanted to make 90 degrees in total. So we already
Yes.
had 30 and we needed something more to reach to 90.
Yes.
So the other angle was complementing the first angle, or you could say the first angle was complementing the second angle. Right? It's the same.
Yeah.
So
And
now go back to the passage.
okay.
Which complement are we talking about here?
Here is we talking about phrase.
We talking about me. We are talking about.
We are talking about continuous tense. We are talking about phrase. Praise. Praise.
Yes, we are talking about praise. It is a
Yes.
compliment if. Okay,
If
now there is a condition. It is not a compliment if something, it is a compliment if something. Okay, read.
it is compliment if other are interested in our lives and experience.
So what happens if others are not interested in our lives and experience? Is it a compliment?
No, it is uncompliment.
Uncompliment જેવું કઈ ન હોય, but it is not a compliment.
It is not a compliment. Yeah.
So we should welcome inquiries about our first memories. Why? Because it is a compliment if others are interested in our lives and experiences. So it is something to be proud about. If somebody wants to know about your past life તો ન કહેવાય, પૂર્વ જન્મ થઈ ગયો. About your past or about your experiences, then you should be proud about it. People are interested in knowing more about you. So that's a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, got it.
હવે besides, આ besides શું અને ઓલું besides શું હતું?
આ બી સાઈડ એટલે બીજી બાજુએ અને ઓલું નેક્સ્ટ ટુ વાળું.
Other than that, આ besides એટલે other than that, અને ઓલું beside next to.
Yes. This ઈ બી સાઈડ એટલે બાજુમાં.
બાજુમાં.
અને આ other than that આની સિવાયનું. આગળ જે કીધું તેની સિવાય other than that the
human. Whenever you come across H and if the H is followed by a vowel, then you do not pronounce the H. You directly start with the vowel, human. This rule also applies in French, not just English. French માં એવું થાય. If there's a vowel following H, then you don't pronounce H. Okay, take another example. HOURS.
Ars.
Do you pronounce the H over there?
No, H is silent. Here,
Yes.
here also is H silent.
H is silent, but it is not always the case.
Yeah,
HIDE.
hide.
Then you pronounce it. So there are
Some
exceptions, and you
exceptions
have to
are,
deal with those exceptions. The
some
language is,
exceptions are,
yeah, they are very complicated creatures.
yes.
But more often than not, if you have a vowel after H, then in most cases you don't pronounce H. But sometimes you do. It depends.
Yes, okay, sure. Besides that, the human memory is a fascinating area of study.
Okay, fascinating area of study એટલે
Fascinating એટલે કે હું એનાથી બહુ આતુર ને fascinating એટલે કેવું I was greatly fascinated by my childhood toy.
hmm
પણ એનું ગુજરાતી શું કેવું?
interested.
હા, interested, like interested. I am very much
Besides
interested
that, the human memory is an interesting area of study, is a fascinating area of study, is a captivating area of study. Something
in
which catches your attention. That is called fascinating.
hmm, the human memory is fascinating area of study. Yes. Research shows that some subjects can provide rich detail of a first memory very quickly, while others struggle to come up with anything at all.
Okay. What does the research show? Some subjects. Okay. Is it? Are we talking about history, maths, physics, subjects? What do you mean by subjects?
Research shows that some subjects, nah, yeah, here is not talking about these subjects.
Then whom are we talking about?
Uh, talking about our past memories research,
Okay, wait.
which is based
Research
on past
shows
memories.
that some subjects can provide rich details of a first memory.
Very
So the subjects are providing details about their first memory. So if you say that the meaning of subjects is memory, then can memory provide the detail of first memory?
I am not talking the subject is memory. The subject is about memory.
Still you haven't understood the meaning of subject. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, subject એટલે this is, I mean, that's why I gave you an example of physics, maths, chemistry. Okay, it could be psychology, memory even. So are we talking about psychology, memory?
Yes,
No,
psychology.
no, we are not. Why? Research shows that some subjects can provide rich details of first memory very quickly. એટલે by reading the sentence, you'll at least be able to understand that whatever this subject is, we don't care what that is, but this subject is able to give me the details of
First,
first memory
very quickly.
very quickly. Okay. Okay, that is fine. You don't need this. But the point is, can a memory or can psychology provide the memory, sorry, the details of a first memory?
No,
Then who can do so?
people,
Hmm?
people, people can provide detail of.
Only people can provide details of their first memory, isn't it? A memory is something totally abstract. Memory cannot provide the detail of another memory.
Yeah.
Only a person can provide the detail of first memory.
So here subject is people, right?
Yes, the subject is people. તો અને આવું ઘણી જગ્યાએ હોઈ શકે. Subject is not necessarily the subjects that you study at the university.
Yeah.
Subjects could be anything. Subjects could be, જો subject છે, પણ subject of what? Subject of the
Subject can
research.
anything. Subject is maybe a name.
No, 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 no. Subject could be anything, that is fine, but subject of what? Subject of research. Subject of research એટલે શું? કે something on which the research is being conducted. Okay. Have you heard this word in another context? He was subjected to great torture. So what does that mean? તો અહીંયા સબ્જેક્ટનો મિનિંગમાં કઈ એવું થાય કે ભાઈ ધીસ ઇઝ
No થાય એવું.
તો
Not
સબ્જેક્ટેડ શું થયું?
subjected.
હી વોઝ એક્સપોઝડ ટુ, એવું થઈ શકે?
હા, એવું થઈ શકે.
તો આ એના જેવું છે. સબ્જેક્ટ ડઝ નોટ નેસેસરીલી મીન ધ સબ્જેક્ટ્સ વી સ્ટડી. સબ્જેક્ટ ઓફ રિસર્ચ એટલે જેના ઉપર રિસર્ચ થાય છે એવી વસ્તુઓ. તો ધ સબ્જેક્ટ ઓફ રિસર્ચ કુડ બી એનીથિંગ. ઇટ કુડ બી રેટ્સ, ઇટ કુડ બી monkeys, animals, fishes, humans. But in this case we are studying the memories of humans. તો અહીંયા પીપલની વાત થાય છે.
People show, sorry, research shows that some people can provide rich detail of
Okay, why
personal
rich detail? Why rich detail?
rich details. એની બહુ સારી.
Poor details હોય?
નહીં. ના, poor detail બી હોય.
So what does it mean if you say that you are providing poor details or you're providing rich details?
Rich and poor detail, it means rich detail, it is very clear details, and poor
Okay.
detail is something.
Okay, you see, you said very clear details, and then you are not able to find the words to describe poor details. You just have to negate it. If you cannot find another synonym of another negative word, then you can just negate this word. જેમ કે તે એમ કીધું કે very clear details. So not
Not
so clear details. એવું કહી શકાય.
yes.
It's okay if you don't use fancy words, but just don't stop. Negate it. Not clear કહી દે.
એડવાન્સ ઇંગ્લિશ થાય ને.
Advanced English થાય, but if you stop for 1 or 2 minutes, then the examiner will feel that you're looking for vocabulary, which is very bad. Also થાય, you'll just lose marks for your vocabulary, but you'll be fluent. આમાં fluency નહીં કપાય. So use plain English if you cannot think of very fancy words. It's fine.
Yeah.
So rich details, yeah, our subject was rich details. હવે rich details, you must have heard the term rich text editor.
Yeah.
So why is it called rich text editor? What's the difference between a simple text editor like Notepad and a rich text editor?
It's a rich text editor provides a lot of functionalities.
Yes, it provides a lot many functionalities. It provides a slew of extra features.
Yes, and rich detail, it means અહીંયા બી એવું જ થશે, lot of details.
Yeah, very clear details. Yeah, you're right, the details are very clear. It's a very detailed explanation. So
Rich.
you get a complete picture of your first memory. તાદૃશ્ય આપણે જેને કહીએ ને એના જેવું થઈ જાય. Because you have rich details. Poor details is okay, it's not so detailed, it's very hazy, it's not clear.
Yes.
Okay, 2 words, clear નું ઊંધું hazy.
Hazy.
Hazy, HAZY.
HAZY. Poor. Okay, noted.
Poor નહીં, clear નું ઊંધું હતું.
Unclear.
હા, unclear, hazy. Hazy એટલે ધૂંધળું, clear એટલે ચોખ્ખું ને hazy એટલે ધૂંધળું.
I noted. Then
provide rich details of a first memory very quickly. અને હજી હું એક વસ્તુ બોલ્યો તો a slew of something. શું કીધું તું મેં? હું ભૂલી ગયો. પણ a slew of SLEW.
SLEW. A slew of.
A slew of એટલે regiment of something, a lot many things. ઘણું બધું.
Regiment of something or lot of things. Okay. A slew of a rich detail. A slew of. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
very
તો હવે શું
quickly.
કીધું તો research shows that some subjects can provide rich details of a first memory very quickly. એટલે some people when asked this question can provide very good details of their first memory very quickly, and that too quickly. They're not
Yes.
taking time at all. They can
Yeah,
um,
it is
yeah,
easy for his
it's very easy for them. While આવ્યું એટલે now there must
contrast.
be, okay, yes, contrast.
Yes. While others struggle to come up with anything at all, like me.
So if one person is able to provide rich details very quickly and you have a contrast, what would the other person be doing?
Come up with anything at all.
એટલે શું anything at all એટલે
ઘણી વાર જ્યારે અમુક લોકો એમાં થોડુંક
struggle એટલે when do you struggle?
સ્ટ્રગલ તો મહેનત તો સ્ટ્રગલ એટલે
What do you mean by struggle?
કરતા હોય છે. When you do when the things is hard at that
Yeah,
time do
yes,
more
when you're
struggle.
not able to do something, when you feel that something is very difficult, you're not able to handle it, you're not able to manage it, then you are somehow struggling to do it. So
Yeah,
that is struggle. So
yeah.
how are these people struggling? Why are they struggling? And
Because they don't
sorry,
come up
what are they trying to do? The first question, what are they trying to do?
uh, to try to express his earliest memory.
Yes, they're trying to express their earliest memories. And we know that
And
they're struggling to express their earliest memories. So હવે come
yes,
up with anything at all એટલે ઈ શું થયું?
એટલે કે એ લોકો એક્સપ્રેસ કરી નથી શકતા એમની સાથે.
નહીં,
It's not
આમાં express નહીં, હજી you are missing something very essential over here. જો
come up with.
contrast આવ્યું. Here
Hmm.
the people here were able to provide rich details very quickly, and now contrast. Others struggle to come up with anything at all.
Quickly નું opposite છે, I think.
Quickly no opposite નથી. It's totally different.
Struggle to come up
Okay,
એટલે કે
come up with
જલ્દી કરવું.
something. Come up with something એટલે come up with an idea. Okay, come up with an idea એવું તો સાંભળ્યું હશે ને.
હા હા. To remember, to try
ના,
to ને
come up with an idea is to
એને
is to
સર્ચ ફ્રેઝ આખો સર્ચ કરી લો. હવે યા બહુ બધી વસ્તુ છે. Come up with of an issue, situation or problem occur or present itself. Whenever you come of error, એવું કંઈક આવતું ને, especially unpredictedly.
unpredictedly તો એવો તો કોઈ વર્ડ જ નથી. unexpectedly પણ એવો મતલબ નથી. come up with an idea એટલે okay, come up with a solution.
એમની સાથે જવું એમ.
એની સાથે જવું. તું વિચાર કરો, સોલ્યુશન સાથે તું ક્યાં જઈશ?
ને પણ come up with
What does it mean, come up with a solution? There's a problem and I'm asking you to come up with a solution. So
to
what am I
solve
asking you to do?
come up the solution.
તો એ તો તું મારા ને મારા વર્ડ બોલે પણ એનો કોઈ મીનિંગ ખરો? એ તો હું તને પૂછું છું કે એ શું છે.
Come up for hearing. Take between one and
અહીં જો ફર્સ્ટ માં શું લખ્યું છે? occur or present itself. બરોબર, so it would be something on the lines of that. Come up with a solution, come up with an idea. So you need to think of an idea. Okay, you don't have an idea right now, so what do? The first thing is you need to think. You need to
think,
think about the problem. You need to
then come up.
formulate an idea, and then you have to express it. So
Hmm.
if I ask you to come up with an idea, or if I ask you to come up with a solution, so એ શું થયું? I'm asking you to think about a problem. Then after thinking, you'll have to formulate an idea, and then tell me. So you come up through a process.
Okay. એ આખું come up થયું. Okay.
To come up with something. To come up with to idea is just an example. Solution is another example. But generically speaking, the phrase is come up with something. It could be anything. Come up with idea, solution, whatever. તો કમ અપ વિથ સમથિંગ એટલે કંઈક કંઈક નવી વસ્તુ તમારે પેદા કરવાની એવું કંઈક થયું. You producing something new.
Arise. Hmm.
Hmm. So now
To
go back to this passage. અને હવે શું કીધું એને come up with anything at all. તો you are able to come up with something એટલે at least you are able to provide something, but
yes.
you are struggling to come up with something at all એટલે
તમે કંઈક પ્રોવાઈડ કરવામાં એ થોડુંક હાર્ડ છે.
you are not able to provide anything at all. Anything, જો anything at all આવ્યું એટલે automatically you need to understand that it must be something negative.
Yes.
Anything at all, તું કાંઈ કરતા કાંઈ નથી કહી શકતો એમ. Others struggle to come up with anything at all.
Okay.
They find it difficult to even come up with a single memory. Forget about rich details. They are not even able to provide poor details.
Yes.
એવો meaning થયો. It's not the opposite of quickly.
Okay. Come up with એટલે ઈ તો ઈ literal જ થયું, પણ with anything at all.
પણ આગળ સ્ટ્રગલ છે એટલે નોટ લાગ્યું, અધરવાઇઝ નોટ નો લાગે.
હા.
There other people are struggling to come up with anything at all, so it means that they are not able to come up with any something.
Yes. Okay. Okay, while others struggle to come up with anything at all. Okay. Then their range of memory is also predictably diverse from holiday and
Diverse.
okay, predictably diverse from holidays and injuries to routine activities such as walking in the park or having a family meal.
Family meal thing. Family meal.
Family meal.
હવે ફેંકતા હોય ને એવું લાગે.
Having a family meal.
The range of memories is also predictably diverse. So diverse.
Diverse reverse માં જેવું કંઈક હશે.
So
Reverse જેવું diverse.
reverse જેવું diverse. Okay.
Maybe.
Diversity.
Yes. India has
A diverse population. So what does
yes,
it mean?
diverse and વિશાળ population.
તો વિશાળ population તો massive population થયું ને. Why diverse? You have people from all religions.
Yes. So okay. Diverse population it means different type of.
Yes. Different type of. અલગ અલગ, ભિન્ન ભિન્ન.
ભિન્ન different.
So their range. So now we are talking about range. Range of what? Range of memories. So range of memories is also predictably diverse.
Yes.
So the memories are diverse. They are very different from one another. Okay. હવે ક્યાંથી ક્યાં લગી? Now if you are specifying a range, so you need to specify from and to.
Yes.
So હવે from and to આવ્યું. From holidays and injuries to routine activities. So holidays and injuries don't happen every now and then.
Yes.
They happen very sporadically.
ક્યારેક જ.
Sporadically. SPORADICALLY.
SPORD I
SPOR, sporadical. SPORADIC.
CALLK.
Double LY.
Okay. Sometimes.
Sometimes. So these holidays, so you don't have holiday every day. Otherwise, it's not called a holiday. Holiday is something which you have only once a week, or maybe once a month, if you're talking about some other public holidays. And you won't get injured every now and then. It's something that happens once in a blue moon. That is again a synonym of sporadic. Once in a blue moon.
Okay. Once in a blue moon. एक क्यारक देखाय.
हाँ, ક્યારેક જ હોય. So these events, holidays and injuries are examples of activities or things that happen sometimes, not always. And two,
Routine activities.
routine activities, something you do on a daily basis, such as walking in the park or having a family meal.
Family meal.
So the range of
Family.
memories, suit you, range of memories.
બધા માટે અલગ અલગ હોય. Predictably diverse. That is a
Yes.
holiday injury and to routine activity. That is
The
walking the
range
park.
of memories are diverse, and
Yes.
the memories range from holidays and injuries, એટલે something which is happening only once in a blue moon, to something which happens every day. Any range specify કરી. પછી most studies.
Most studies show that around 25% of first memory are of the negative events, while nearly double that proportions are positive. And these findings are constant regardless of the subject, age of age or background.
Okay, subject. What do you mean by subject?
Regardless subject, people.
People. Yes, people. And do you notice the apostrophe after s? Shouldn't it be
Yeah.
placed before s?
Yes.
Yes.
એ સાચું જ પડે ને
એ
subject.
સાચું.
હા.
No, only
Subject.
one could be correct. How can both be correct?
ના હવે મેં એક જગ્યાએ એવું જોયું હતું તમે
હા,
apostrophe
હા.
જો આ રીતે હતું અને ના ને આવું બી ચાલે.
So you mean to say that both are acceptable? There's no difference between those two.
I think no. No, I think yes.
So what's the difference?
No, I think there is no difference એના માટે yes.
Okay,
I
there is
think
no difference. Okay, go back to the passage.
okay.
So here, are we talking about one person or many people?
Many people.
That is why the apostrophe is placed after s. If we were talking about a single person, then we would have placed the apostrophe before s. Subjects.
Whenever pluralists come, then apostrophe is before s. Sorry,
નહીં, નહીં,
after
નહીં.
s.
Plural હોય તો it is after s, and in the case of singular nouns, it is
Before s.
before s.
Apostrophe is before s.
Okay, that is done. પછી
Yes.
બીજું શું હતું? Okay, 25% of first memories are of a negative event. So that is self-explanatory. And while nearly double that proportion. Which proportion?
25% of 50%.
So 25% are of negative event and 50% memories are of a positive event.
And these findings are constant regardless of the subject's age or background.
So does this finding change with the age of people and their backgrounds?
ના અહીં તો ના પડી છે findings are constant regardless.
So
હા yes આગળ regardless આવ્યો ને word.
એટલે ઈ ચેન્જ થાય છે કે નથી થતા? Do these findings change with
થાય છે yes.
change
It
થાય
will.
છે? Okay, wait a minute. I'll have to remind you of the word limitless. Limitless એટલે what was it?
There is no limit.
Without limit. So regardless એટલે
There is no regard.
without regarding something. Okay, regarding એટલે regard, if you regard something એટલે શું?
ના એના સબ્જેક્ટમાં એમ, ના
Okay,
કન્ટેક્ટ.
regarding something એટલે ઈ કોન્ટેક્સમાં એના સબ્જેક્ટમાં થયું. Also, you could say that we are paying attention to something.
ઓકે, ઈ ચેન્જ નથી થતી, કોન્સ્ટન્ટ regardless of the subject, age or background, ગમે એજ હોય એ ચેન્જ નથી થતું એમ.
Yes, regardless of the subject's age and background, the findings remain constant. So
Yeah.
even if the person is 10 years old, or if he is or she is 90 years old, it does not matter. If he
Yeah.
is from say, for example, if he's a rich person or if he's a poor person, does not matter. His background does not matter, his age does not matter. Regardless of age and background, the findings remain constant.
Yes.
And regardless, this is very common. You will encounter it time and again.
એટલે હવે લેસ આવ્યું પછી મેં પેલા કેવું રેડી કર્યું, લિમિટલેસ જેવું જ આમાં કર્યું હતું એમ.
પણ
જેમ
હવે
લિમિટલેસ
એવું જરૂરી નથી કે દર વખતે ઈ જ લોજિક લાગે. રિગાર્ડલેસ તો એક કોમન વસ્તુ છે કે રિગાર્ડલેસ ઓફ સમથિંગ એમ, ઇન સ્પાઇટ ઓફ, ડિસ્પાઇટ, આવું સાંભળ્યું છે? ઇન સ્પાઇટ ઓફ કે ડિસ્પાઇટ?
સાંભળ્યું છે, ડિસ્પાઇટ ઓફ.
ડિસ્પાઇટ ઓફ નો આવે, ઇન સ્પાઇટ ઓફ આવે, પણ ડિસ્પાઇટ પછી ઓફ નો આવે.
ડિસ્પાઇટ તો એ તો ડિસ્પ્યુટ એટલે થાય કા, વિવાદ.
એ ડિસ્પ્યુટ એટલે થાય. એટલે એવું કે ભાઈ ઈ રિગાર્ડલેસ ઓફ સમથિંગ એમ કે
એટલે
it is
પેલા
immaterial. The age and background is immaterial. It does not matter. આ તો આમ જે છે ને એમનું એમ જ રહે.
હા, કોન્સ્ટન્ટ રિગાર્ડ ઓફ સબ્જેક્ટ એજ ઓર બેકગ્રાઉન્ડ હોત તો ચેન્જ થાત, તો મતલબ નેગેટિવ થાત. રિગાર્ડલેસ ની જગ્યાએ ઓનલી રિગાર્ડ હોત તો. ગોટ ઇટ.
Now, just a minute before we continue, I'll visit the washroom and come.
ઓકે, શ્યોર.